I will be asking you questions regarding this US-Russia tension and almost 130,000 troops gathering on Ukrainian border, and especially Indian perspective, because of
Okay.
the relation between India, USA, China, Russia, China. So what can be impact on India? Uh, uh,
Okay.
and some few questions related to this.
Okay, sure. Though I've not, too much in detail with China, but yes, Ukraine, the one has not visited, but one has been alive to actually look at what it is going to happen. If you listen to the news per se, you would find that while Russia doesn't say it is going to attack or invade the Ukraine, and yesterday the Ukraine's PM was also on air stating that he also doesn't think that Russia will, you know, invade them. The situation is not right as far as Ukraine is concerned. However, America is the one who's making the most, noise on this, if I were to use that word. And probably that is also because of Russia kind of expanding and maybe, whether by force or by coercion, trying to get the support of Ukraine as part of its larger expansion ideas. Whereas Russia is, not very comfortable with that and is also getting the other Western European or Eastern European countries to, help and get the NATO involved in, deterring the Russians from doing anything. It's essentially a wait and watch. Yesterday, the Russians have said that they might impose sanctions, uh, but maybe not on the country as yet. But there may be individual sanctions against the president of Russia, that is Putin. Uh, Another sanctions, though the sanctions against Putin per se would just be probably, just visits, and as a person, those sanctions really don't carry much weight. However, it is only the, the what should I say, the words that, okay, fine, there are sanctions against the Russians. However, should the sanctions actually come to force at some point of time, it essentially is going to be economic, and economic sanctions are the ones which are going to, affect probably the world trade, as also Russia. While India enjoys a comfortable relation both with America and Russia, and the fact that India can deal with both from the situation of power today in which it is a great thing. Like the S-400, the case that India procured from the USSR or the Russians.
That is exactly where I wanted to carry the whole discussion. With this Quad, and if we look at past 20 years, 25 years, India has, strengthened its not only diplomatic relation but also strategic relation with the United States of America. And Russia has been its partner. We have visited this incident in past, that under pressure of United States of America, Russia had cancelled the deal of cryogenics technology in past. So do you think there will be any kind of bad impact on Russia-India defense deal due to this emerging situation?
While it's too early to predict, however, when the cryogenic deal was stopped or the sanctions were put against India, at that time the level of technology and the level of progress in India was much, much, less as compared to the situation today. And at one stage now, the latest example, if one were to take, is this S-400 case, wherein despite the fact that US didn't want us to take them from Russia, yet it didn't also do anything much thereafter
mm,
when India continued with the deal. And they have come and they have deployed, and that is the way it is today. While physical wars with big countries, with big armies,
mm,
may not be not be a very realistic thing. People talking of a third war, world war, is actually it's going to be not necessarily in the kinetic field. It may be more economic war, and if you were to limit that to and call that it's a World War III, I would say more of an economic war. Local wars may yet be possible, and limited and local wars to achieve limited gains so that people do not cross the threshold of maybe going in the other dimensions to say space war or nuclear paradigm, and hence these local wars which are controllable
mm,
are much more in the realm of feasibility.
mm. Okay, sir. And sir, Russia-China relation, China has been talking about One Belt, One Road initiative, which also passes through uh, northern regions of India, northeastern regions of India. And Russia and China, on 4th February, Russian President Vladimir Putin will be going to China to inaugurate Winter Olympics. So, in this situation, uh, how will India balance diplomatic as well as strategic relation both with USA and Russia?
As far as the Russian and Chinese relations are concerned, they initially were, united. If I will not say the word united, but there, yes, similar ideas being communist countries at that point of time. That's when the relations did develop to quite some extent. However, there have been simmering, continuous uh, tensions along the Mongolian border and China's interference and expansionist ideas. So Russia does, while it maintains relationships with China on a normal manner, but it does look at it with suspicion, is my fact. It's a guarded approach as far as China is concerned. Uh, Today is an economic world. The reality of a big powers, fighting, as I just mentioned some time back, is very unlikely.
Mhm,
Regional wars may be a possibility. Economic cooperation, if I were to say one can call it cooperation or economic trade, is what is of interest both to China and to Russia, and it favors both of them. As far as this road is concerned, Russia is not greatly affected by it.
mhm,
And India is also going multipolar with equal trade, or maybe say, looking towards the American lobby also for trade. So hence Russia, while it will support India at the time of need, but it will balance it. Uh, Traditionally, India and Russia have been good allies,
mhm,
and in my personal capacity, definitely do feel that. And when it comes to the crux of the matter, and those times, I do feel that Russia is likely to favor our and honor our relations
mhm.
vis-a-vis others which were purely a trade-based relations.
Right, sir. Sir, some time back, I was talking to Director General of Russian International Affairs Council, which is a think tank supported by Russian government. He said he had a very positive approach about India. He said that India is a great power and it is not, as you rightly said, that India is not where it was 30 years back. So, and he also said that India is an inevitable power in Eurasia, in building up Eurasian economy, uh, other sectors. So, how do you rate and observe and analyze India's emergence I mean, post liberalization, if we talk about that.
Okay, as far as emergence post-liberalization is concerned, while initially it was we were forced into liberalization because of our economic situation, over a period of time and specifically since the middle of the last decade, it has really, taken a greater jump, if I were to say, with FDI improving.
Mm,
Technology, as far as R&D is concerned, India really is not very great, if I were to use that word.
mm,
However, the current push for Make in India is actually pushing a lot of our Indian industries to tie up abroad for technology and then make in India.
mm,
And our market per se is very large, whether it is the defense market or it is the other market. Uh, the market is very large, and hence anybody who wants to come here, he can actually still get his money's worth by producing here because his other costs of transportation, etc., and licensing and any embargo will change. Those are here. A little niggling issues is in our policy, wherein we are talking of, how much percentage could be Indian and how much, of the niche technology would the foreign companies come and give to the Indians in exchange for their trade. That is a thing which will emerge in days to come. However, the basic thing is production in India. A lot of companies are tying up, and production partners like L&T and Tata's and all those companies, big companies, are doing it. My only take on this is that the niche technology, which we need to bargain, and we need to bargain hard on that, we should take support. And the way the capacity building that is possible in the country, in days to come, we should be a net exporter rather than an importer of a lot of things,
mm.
including the defense.
And finally, sir, though it's a bit political question, how would you rate, India's emergence, or if directly I ask, Prime Minister Modi's tenure since 2014? And second part, a small part of this question is, do you advocate privatization of defense manufacturing sector?
Uh, okay, well, firstly, come to the first part of the question. How do I rate this regime as to how they have performed? Uh, I take it firstly, it's a regime that has got a vision. It's got a plan. And that plan, with that, they are working. And I feel that, they have done a reasonably good job. India's standing in the last 10 years, I would say, has increased multifold, as well as the people are standing up to take note that India has also got a position that it can hold. And that way, I look at, in the world sphere, it has been good. Domestically, also, it has been good, but there are times of, extreme, what I won't say extreme, rather power that is a little forceful doing of things,
Mhm,
which I would say. But that I feel is the need of the hour also.
mhm,
While religiously we need to be a little more balanced, me being from the armed forces, uh, uh, for us, we are totally apolitical. That's our upbringing, apolitical and secular. Means there's no specific, favor for any such religion. Though religion is important, very important. It's a matter of faith, and it's a great motivating force and a power giver. But there is no discrimination based on, religion
right.
in those spheres. So that has been our upbringing, and that continues even now that we are much more elder and more senior than we were earlier.
Mhm.
So I feel that that has been fine, and the government is doing a good job. Coming on to privatization of defense, You see, we have a vast ordnance board that is there and a large number of ordnance factories which was set up very early in the development of India post-independence. Now, some of these are even pre-independence. They were utilized for the British war effort and the resources that were there.
Mhm.
It is possible. It is possible. The only doubt, the only doubt one has is, will they be able to, will they be able to come up to the requirements during war? I feel they should be able to. And however, today you find that most of them are working under capacity, and the technology, as I said, mentioned sometime earlier, that our R&D is not very good. So in case we tie up with countries abroad which are bring in the technology and
Mhm.
utilize this vast space that is not being exploited to its full capacity, I feel that we should be able to do that. And a little, while today the workforce in these ordnance factories goes by civil labor laws,
Mhm.
there is a need to bring in a military element of the rules as far as the civilian workforce employed in defense industry is concerned,
Mhm.
because there that little tweaking of rules is required, because today we work on just one shift, and the capacity to ramp up to three shifts in a night, in a day, is great, and you can work 24/7 in case of a requirement. Now, but that capacity is yet to be tested. So I do feel that the defense industry has got great potential, as also the big, I would say, the big industrial houses, in case they want to join up with the defense. Big industrial houses are equally capable. They have, if I were to say, more streamed and more, lean systems, wherein with the lesser amount of, input, they could produce good items and good material. So that is possible. While the government defense industry was more of development come industry,
Mhm.
the private industry is purely industry.
Mhm.
And the bigger houses, because as far as defense is concerned, the projects are very costly.
Mhm.
And they are the ones who are capable to put in that much kind of money and use that. So I believe the ordnance factories plus the large defense houses both can synergetically work.
Mhm.
And in the long run, probably, India should be a net exporter of defense goods, is my feeling. That's the capacity that we have. It's for us to realize when it is going to be possible.
Right, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. This was Major General Anil Dwivedi, who spoke to our web channel, the Global TV, on various aspects of Russia, USA tension, its impact, what can be impact on India, and also India's defense future and India's relation with Russia. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Dr. Dwivedi.